Environmental pollution is a serious issue all over the world. People care more about their financial interests than the condition of the environment.
We care more about the latest luxury items rather than millions of marine lives.
If the government is budgeting, one of the first issues they will cut funding on is environmental conservation.
Environmental pollution is killing animals. All over the world, animals from large to small are dying because of our actions.
Your actions can either help or harm these animals. The decision is entirely up to you. Americans use so much plastic that in LA alone, 10 metric tons are thrown into the ocean every single day.
Now, this garbage, 3 out of the 5 plastic bags thrown into the ocean are eaten by sea turtles.
Today, less than 2% of our ocean is considered a marine protected area, where there are some restrictions on human activity in order to prevent contaminating the ecosystem. Less than 2% of the entire ocean. There isn't anybody here who doesn't believe we can't do better than that. So let's start by finding a way to perhaps bring that number up to 10% or more as soon as possible. And let's develop a plan that does more to reduce the flow of plastic and other debris from entering into the ocean. Everybody's seen that massive array of garbage in the Pacific and elsewhere.
The worst part about plastic is that once it's thrown into the ocean, it sinks to the bottom of the floor and stays there forever, waiting for an animal to come by. Alright, hi Andrew, I'm Alex.
Hello, Alex.
It's
a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
I'm glad to see young people interested in the environment.
Yes.
Because we need more involvement in the environment, in protecting it. So what you're doing is a good thing to inform yourself. Because my generation has not really risen to the occasion of protecting the environment as we should.
If people continue to taking these backward steps and they don't realize that they're hurting their own world and they continue to be selfish as they are, how bad do you think this pollution situation can get?
Well, I think that that people may not want to spend a lot of money on protecting the environment. Many people are willing to just bury their head in the sand and try to avoid thinking about that problem or putting resources into solving the problem. And that's the problem with a lot of our environmental problems. I mean, if you think about the loss of species, it's a very complicated issue. And if you live in a city, you don't see the loss of species out in the natural areas. You just don't see it. And so it's not something that most people think, well, I need to pay taxes so that we can address that problem. I'm hoping that we don't have to face too many crises where these problems are in our face before we start to address them. You may read in the newspapers that there was a recent summit of nations in Chile to discuss doing something about climate change, about global warming, reducing greenhouse gases that are trapping heat in the atmosphere and creating warmer conditions that are really going to be a serious problem. And they're not much in the way of specific, tangible proposals to actually change our behavior came out of that. Because it's just not immediate enough yet. So that's where I think our best hope is educating the young generations to understand that while you may not be able to feel it now, you can't taste it now, it's coming, and you need to do something about it for your future.
If we want to honor, if we are going to be able to honor our shared responsibility to protect the ocean, the ad hoc approach we have today with each nation and community pursuing its own independent policy simply will not suffice. That is not how the ocean works. We're not going to meet this challenge unless the community of nations comes together around a single, comprehensive, global ocean strategy. That is the only way that we can clean up our ocean today and make sure that it remains what it needs to be for generations to come.
Not only will the Pollution Prevention Act help save millions of marine lives, it will also help save money and resources that would otherwise be spent on cleanup. People need to become more aware and educated of what environmental pollution is doing to this world. You can write to your congressman or leader of your country for laws to be imposed, because this needs to be a global effort. Otherwise, there may not be a future.